Hello everyone, this is Hardik here, and today I will be sharing my approach about how I completed the 4 tasks that we were given for the screening test for AI Champ. So quickly going through it, the first task was an easy one. It was about we have to download 50 public PDFs of connections or LinkedIn. So I downloaded the 50 connection. This is my GitHub profile, and here in this folder I have stored all the 50 public profiles downloaded as PDFs. Now the second task is from extract text from the above PDF and store them in a CSV. So we have to extract the text that are in these PDFs and store the data as a CSV file. So in task 2, here is the program. So in task 2 I have used Google Colab, which provides a very good computation power because I don't have a very fast computer, so I used Google Colab for it. To extract text from PDF files, I used Tika library from Apache, and to download this on Google Colab, you have to run just a single line, and it takes very less time to download it. Now imported Tika, and all the 50 PDFs are imported in the Google Colab because it runs on cloud, so you have to upload it there. And finally, when this is uploaded, I have used OS and glob libraries to get the data, because in Google Colab all the data that we upload is stored in contact folder. In content folder I have used glob.glob, so it goes through all the files in that folder which ends with .pdf, so all the PDF files, and using parser from Tika I have got the text from that, and I have stored text from all such 50 files in this list of text, in this list. And what I found that when I convert it from PDF to text, there are many \n, which means lines. So there are many blank lines which I think it was better to delete because they don't make any value. So here in this line I actually deleted all the \n from the text that we got from the PDFs, and then stored all of them in a list, which is this. And finally, since we need them as a CSV file, I converted them to a pandas data frame and then downloaded this as CSV file. So this converts the data frame into CSV, and to download from Google Colab you have to do files.download data.csv. Now this files is the same this one which we used to upload. So final data, which will we have this, so 50 rows for each row. For each profile we have each row, and this corresponds to the data. Okay, so then then comes task 3. So task 3 is that from every profile data text that we got from task 2, we have to find the most frequent words and the most essential words, and it shouldn't contain stop words like this, is, the, and etc. So for this, let me close these tabs. So for task 3, I have made this program which takes the data that we got from task 2 and cleans it, so it removes the stop words and other unwanted characters. So in this I have used NLTK, which is NLP library, which is a library for NLP. And in this what I did was so in this I've used some functions. It is define letters only, which means it takes input a word and gives true if it is a letter and false otherwise. And there are other techniques like lematizer and stop words, which I have used here. One thing to note is that in stop words I have added a resume, because in each profile we are having this word, so it's better to remove it. So this is the main function that takes input as the list of all the text that we get from the data frame, a clean data CSV file, and it goes through each of the file, and what it does is it checks for each of the word in a file and gives us the word which only has letters and which is not in stop words, and gives the lowercase of it, so that so that different words which are separated by case are considered to be equal here. And then we have this thing, we use the function and get a clean text. So for a row, if the row text was something like this, when we apply this function, we get the final output to be something like this. So we can see that this data is much clean as compared to this one. Now again, since we want the CSV file, what we do is we convert it to data frame, and then we again just take, this I ran locally, so this will do. If I run just this, I will get a CSV file, and you can see I have gone up to 100 times, so I have executed 100 cells to get here, and that is because initial notebook was not like this. It was very unprofessional. Uh, I just shrunk it as much as possible and added comments and documentation, so that is why it has run for 100 times, because it did take me some time to make this notebook. Now this was the first part of this task. Okay, now we have the clean words. Now what we do is we use these clean data.csv files to find the most frequent words and also the essential words. Okay, now I will open this. So this is the function that takes the data, clean data.csv file that we got from the last task and the last program, and you can see this is the clean data program, and here we have found it the frequent words, and down here we have found it the most essential words. Now what it does, now basically what the final file will be, for each of the row we will have 10 most frequent words or k most frequent words, and we can change the value of k according to our needs. So in this function I have used counter function from collections library. So this, when I apply it in most common, so it gives what are the most common words in a list. So for that I have used split to convert it into list of words, and it used most common k. Now this function, it returns a tuple. So I have extracted only the word from the tuple and stored it in frequent words. So as we can see, if we pass k is equals to 10, it will give us k most frequent words. We can pass any value of k and get the result that we want. And similarly, I have just seen that out of the 50 files, which are the most frequent words. So I have seen that for 12 of our profiles, data was the most frequent. For 6, it was science. It makes sense, right? Data, science, engineering, and learning from basically machine learning, I think. So this was about finding most frequent words. Now comes finding k most essential words. Now essential basically means which are more important, as not frequent but important. So for that I have used TF-IDF, which is term frequency inverse document frequency, and I have made a function which gives k most important words. Now k, again I have used 10. One can even change the value and get different k words. So I've just applied this function using TF-IDF vectorizer, which is in sklearn, and using this I have got the final data, which contains for each profile what are the 10 most important words. And again I have got the file as CSV and stored it here, which are these. So these are the frequent words file, these are the important word file. And again you can see 63, although there are some 10-12 cells. Okay, now comes the fourth task, which was about creating APIs, and this honestly was the most difficult for me, because I don't have much experience in web development. So this one really it took me a long time to complete this task. And in this, what we are going to do, okay, so if I open the readme, I have actually made readme, so You can see task 1, task 2, task 3, and this is task 4. So I have made an API out of the code that we used earlier. So this is something like this. So what we do here is we choose a file, a PDF file, upload it by this button, and this API gives an output, a JSON file, which is downloaded automatically as we click on upload, and we get the JSON file for the text that we of the PDF file we gave as an input. So this was my take on the screening test. And talking about the experience, I learned a lot from the last 5 days, and I hope that I can continue my journey. So yeah, thank you. Have a great day. Namaste.